If you have never taken a foreign language class, or if you have tried unsuccessfully in the past, one of the most essential skills is how to study vocabulary. It is very important that you learn the vocabulary from English to Spanish, and not the other way around. The goal is, at the end of each chapter, you can translate to Spanish, and that you can create your own sentences and paragraphs. This video will give you a quick look at the best techniques for vocabulary learning using your class Blackboard site and the textbook super site. One of the best resources you have to study vocabulary is available on your class Blackboard site. If you click on Extra Materials and then Chapter 1, go to Trifolds and you will have a list of all the vocabulary from the chapter in English and Spanish. You will need to cover up the Spanish side of the sheet and only look at the English. Then you will want to start writing out all of the words you know in Spanish. When you have finished, look at the correct answers and write in corrections over the column you already did. Then fold the sheet so that you can only see the English and a new blank column. Then try again. When you finish, check your answers and write corrections again. You should now be at the last column where you will give it one more try. Usually after writing the words in Spanish 3 times, you will have them memorized. Here, you see a completed trifold. It is set up from right to left, but you can see that the student had quite a few errors in the first column, then made improvements each time they wrote a new column. If you do not like the trifolds, you may do the same thing with note cards. Using your book to be sure you don't make any errors, write English on one side and Spanish on the other. Then look at the English side, write the word on a sheet of paper, and then check the Spanish side to see if you got it right. The important thing about note cards is that you don't just simply say the word, you have to be sure that you know how to spell it. For a quicker review of the vocabulary, you may also want to take advantage of the super site. Click on Content, Activities, and then go to the Vocabulario section of your chapter. There you will find a flashcard activity where you can hear the words and make different piles of cards that you know or don't know as you go. You may want to start with Spanish to English and then go English to Spanish once you are familiar with the words. Here's an example of the English to Spanish and how you would do it. You see the English, how many. You say it out loud, ¿cuántos? Click on it.
¿Cuánto? ¿Cuántos? ¿Cuánta? ¿Cuántas?
And if you have it right, you'll put it in the right pile. If you have it wrong, you'll put it in the wrong pile. Let's try one more. How are you formal? Let's say we get it wrong and we say, ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo está usted?
So it's wrong. I put it in the wrong pile. And then when you finish, hopefully, you'll have all of the cards in the right pile and none in the wrong pile. Finally, after you have studied and memorized the vocabulary, see if you can use the words you have learned to create your own sentences and paragraphs. Again, on Blackboard, you can click on Extra Materials, and there is always a sample composition that you can write and bring into the ILC for corrections. The more complex the vocabulary gets, the more you will want to create your own sentences and paragraphs to personalize the words. The more you can relate the vocabulary to your own life, the easier it is to remember. These are just a few simple suggestions for how you can study the beginning vocabulary. As the course progresses, the vocab will get more difficult, and you may want to go to the ILC for more ideas on how to memorize the verbs and phrases that we will be learning soon.